Hello and welcome to WION's Global Leadership Series. We are coming to you from Colombo, and with me is the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe, welcome to WION, sir.
My privilege to be with you all.
Thank you, sir. This is your fifth stint as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Are you nervous?
Fifth or sixth.
Fifth or sixth?
Take it as it comes. There are no other way to do this job.
Would you call it your most challenging assignment ever in 45 years of your career?
I think this is the most challenging appointment I ever had.
Why did you take it? They say you've taken the job that nobody wanted.
Well, someone had to take up the challenge to put the country's economy into order, to stabilize the political system, to bring the youth and the protesters all into the system and ensure the changes they want are also taking place. It had to be done. If I didn't take this, there could have been a disintegration of society. If you look at the politics of Sri Lanka at that time, when the parties were breaking up and this crisis was taking place, first with the gold-faced green protesters, others with the economy, I was quite worried as to where it was going. So were a very large number of other Sri Lankans. The senior members of the Buddhist clergy and some of the others in civil society as well as business wanted me to go in and take over.
Do you think you're the best qualified to do what Sri Lanka needs at the moment?
Well, there may be people who are better qualified than me, but I was the only one that was willing to accept the challenge.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you're 73 years old. This is
Yes.
the time when most people think of retirement or writing a book or doing something else. And you've sort of set the reset button, not just on your life, but that of your country. What really motivated you to do this at this? And there's not a very high likelihood of a very positive outcome emerging from this.
What's wrong with 73?
And nothing's wrong with 73. I just want to understand your motivation and what is it that drives you.
Well, after I took it over, someone sent me a note and they said that Deng Xiaoping also started at 73.
So you want to be the Deng Xiaoping
I
of
am not the Deng Xiaoping of Sri Lanka, but well, age, if you start at that age, well, why not?
Absolutely. So how do you plan to accomplish the task that you've been entrusted with? You don't have a magic wand, and it feels like nothing less than magic can fix the mess that Sri Lanka is in.
I trust to good luck.
Is that what you're depending on?
What else? What can you do? You got an economic crisis, you got to stabilize. You got a political crisis, you got to stabilize. And these are not normal ones. So you got to tackle all at the same time. Well, there is the 21st Amendment, which of course the President said he was bringing in. Then there is of course there are the new proposals I have made about making the Parliament more consensus-driven. There are economic reforms and how we reach out to the protesters, to the middle class who are fed up with the way politics has been going on for the last decade or more. So I think it's an interesting challenge because I've been talking about this also in the last 2-3 years. So let's give them that hope, get them involved, go ahead. Until that happens, everyone will be firing at me.
Prime Minister Wickremesinghe, are you an independent PM or are you more like a CEO appointed by the Rajapaksas?
I'm not a CEO. I'm a Prime Minister. Prime Minister is never a CEO. A Prime Minister in our system is the one who heads Parliament and who leads the government in Parliament. I can't be a CEO. No.
Are you an independent Prime Minister?
I'm independent Prime Minister.
There is no interference from the President?
No. As far as we are concerned, if there are any differences, we have to sort it out in the Cabinet. Nowhere else and in Parliament.
So you're saying the President has no say in the decisions that you make?
No, in the decisions I make, some issues I consult him. In some of the decisions he makes, he consults me. But all decisions need not be, I don't consult him or ministers in all the decisions I make. That's the way the Cabinet runs.
How is your equation with the Rajapaksa family and the President?
Well, I worked with President Kumanatunga when she was leading her party and I was leading mine. And then there was this continued friction between us. Somehow or other we went on for 2.5 years. So I got used to working in that atmosphere.
So you're saying there is friction with this president too?
No, I've got used to the atmosphere of working. The president is from one party and I am from the other party.
But this is a president whose party is basically the reason why you are in the Prime Minister's chair.
I was there because of the crisis. But remember, I was the first Prime Minister to work with President Rajapaksa for 4 days before I gave up.
Right. Are the Rajapaksas a divided lot? Are there differences within the family over your appointment?
I don't know, must ask the family that. I have so far, their party has supported me to be Prime Minister, and that includes the members of the Rajapaksa family. What they have discussed, I do not know. I don't go to find out of that.
You're the only MP of your party in the Sri Lankan Parliament, and your current position, it is believed, is owed to the President and his party. They're the ones supporting you. How do you propose to resolve a crisis while depending on the very people who are accused of having triggered it in the first place?
Remember this, that my party was the only party which went to 2020 elections saying that this country has to go to the IMF. We are having a serious economic situation, crisis. We need $7 billion, $3 billion for 2020 to 2021 and $3 billion for 2022. From there onwards, I have said we need the IMF. As a result of what we advocated, people didn't believe us. And we came down to just one seat. I was the only person who went into Parliament. I kept repeating the country is having an economic crisis, we have to go in. Others did not agree with me. Later on, some other members in other parties supported me. So at least I have credibility.
Of course you do.
That I have stuck to this position and I was willing to sacrifice and even willing to get defeated for it. So I think that puts me on a different level from the others. Secondly, it was not the question of President Rajapaksa inviting me. I'll give you the whole background. As I said, the Bar Association brought in a resolution that the President should reenact the 19th Amendment. He should then abolish the executive presidency and try and get parties together to form a national government. So this was the proposal which was accepted by other parties. The SJB, the main opposition party, accepted it. You could see in it. Everyone went along this. And then came the time for the President to choose a Prime Minister. When he first called on the leader of the opposition. If I was him, I would have accepted it, because a week before that we had all decided that the leader of the opposition should be given the first chance of forming a government and we would support it. Otherwise, let anyone else form the government with the help of other parties. So he turned it down. And in this crisis of 9th of May, when the leader of the party, actual leader, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, resigned, there was a lot of confusion in that party, and a lot of the members, backbenchers and some of the ministers wanted me to ask for the Prime Ministership. I said no. Mr. Premadasa has been offered, let him have that. The next day also, I think Field Marshal Fonseca was asked. So but they had gone and insisted that I should be called. He had turned it down. Then the MPs had insisted that I should be called as Prime Minister, and the President agreed. So when I took over, there was general consensus that there should be President should bring the 21st Amendment. Thereafter, the executive presidency should be abolished, and to form an all-party government. I was not a party to those decisions, but I stepped in because others were not willing to take the challenge up, and I was backed actually by some of the backbenchers of the ruling party, and if some of the backbenchers of the leading opposition party, SJB, also told me, and if you have the opportunity, kindly take over the government and try and turn things around.
Are you saying that you do not necessarily depend on the president's party?
No, I need their support. If they withdraw the support, I can't be Prime Minister.
So then that still doesn't answer my question, that if you need their support and if it's on the basis of their support that you remain Prime Minister, how do you propose to bring the changes that are directly going to impact them?
Firstly, is that I came in there because some of the backbench members wanted me in a political crisis. I don't think I would have ever been thought of earlier. So, but with that, I have also I've been talking to the other members on the opposition, the SLFP groups in opposition. There are people in the SJB who are all saying you go along. So I know there's a certain amount of support I can get even from the opposition parties. What I'm bringing is the type of reforms they want.
But see, the doubt is that can you push for the reforms that may not be to the liking of the majority party?
I am pushing for the reforms that was agreed to by the President after the Sri Lanka Bar Association briefed them. The Bar Association having a fight with me saying that they didn't agree. So, okay, I am not fighting with them. They put forward the proposals and the President then implemented it. So, it's within that. But really, why am I here? Because everyone else didn't want to take the job.
And
neither from the government nor from the opposition.
Well, this is quite a unique situation, and you're saying that there is no interference whatsoever from the President.
No, there are difference of opinions, so we have to discuss, and it's not only with me, there are difference of, the SLPP are now got into different factions, so within the factions also there is a difference of opinion. When the electricity, the renewable energy bill was brought in, part of the SLPP members voted against it. Others voted for it, some of them voted with the SJB against it. So it's a sort of a unique parliament where no one has a majority and each party has its factions, very much like the LDP in Japan. So it's how you move around with those factions that matter.
I'm sure you can use your experience to sort of work with all the factions together. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.